Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Kamala Harris in the Joe out, Kamala in era, which is a real era in America. This isn't going to last long, right? It's only going to be about 4 months, right? But it's where Biden was like, hey, everybody, I was never president for even a single day. Let's stop the charade that I could possibly be president for another year. For another 4 years, I was really never president for a single day. Like, he just kind of coming out like, yeah, I can't speak sentences. Woo! It is truly America. It is truly amazing where America has landed. And actually, it is wild because nobody's even pretending he's president now. Or like it's just, everybody's like, it's on autopilot, or you're like me and you think it was an alien, a demon, or an AI. I don't believe a human being was actually president between 2020 and 2024. And that's truly incredible. That is a really incredible change. All right. So let me get to my point. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about what Kamala Harris could do to win if she actually wanted to win. Right? I don't believe that Kamala Harris's candidacy is real. It's a real candidacy to fulfill the Democrats' expectation that they run a candidate. But I don't think anyone in the DNC, and I don't even think Kamala actually wants to win this. They don't want to win right now, right? And the reason why is it's a silent surrender because Trump is unstoppable at this point, okay? And Kamala, golf clap, right? Like, she's doing what she can to like help them out and make it so that they can get through, right? All right, let's get all the way there. This is very, very fascinating. All right, so what then needs to happen? All right, it is really interesting. Yeah, what really needs to happen? So if she wanted to win, what could she do? And here it is. She could call for the uncloseting of the hetero kiss. All right, okay, yeah. And so let me explain what it is, and then let me explain why she should do it. Okay, so what is the closeting of the hetero kiss? It's happening right. It's a Hollywood cultural directive that's happening right now, and Hollywood in mass is saying, heteros, your kisses are disgusting. Only LGBTQ kisses are allowed to be shown on screen anymore in any blockbuster or any large budget film. You guys are horrible. You kept us, and Hollywood at mass is saying, you guys kept us in the closet for decades. Now you need to be closeted, right? And the first thing we're going to do it with, and all hetero intimacy needs to be closeted, and it's starting with the hetero kiss. Let me give you some evidence. Twisters actually became a national story, an international story, right? They shot the kiss and they cut it from the movie. And it's ridiculous because Twisters actually has a scene where Glenn Powell runs to the Weather Witch in the airport so that they could talk about not kissing again. Really? Like, you're literally giving me the scene that's in every Hallmark movie, the running through the airport to have the kiss and you don't kiss, right? And it was so absurd, it literally made international news. Look it up, it's right there, right? The reason why we're talking about today is the Union, right? Huge stars, Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry, right? And they're like, hey, these two were together when they were in high school, and they were together. There was physical intimacy. We're telling you that. We're not showing it because it's disgusting, and you could never show hetero intimacy ever again. It needs to be closeted, right? And it's astounding. Watch the movie, right? So at the end of they're like, okay, we've done everything together. We went through a whole bunch of adventures together, and now we're really all hopped up for each other. Let's go to the back and kiss. And then they literally interrupt that scene with, welcome to the Union, Mark Wahlberg. Like, you made it, right? And now you guys can't kiss because that's disgusting, and hetero intimacy is disgusting, and it's never allowed to be seen on camera. Again, it has to be closeted. Let me give you another one, right? Deadpool and Wolverine, right? They show very clearly that he is hetero, and he's only got eyes for one lady through the whole film, right? Even though they filled the ad campaign with the exact opposite. But then when it was like a real movie, they're like, oh, no. no. Deadpool is absolutely not pan anything. He is extremely hetero for this woman here, right? And then he literally says to Iron Man's chauffeur, the whole reason I want to do good and be with the Avengers is so I can impress my girl. And he's like, I want to save the world so I can impress my girl. And they're like, well, you can't do that for the Avengers. And then he's like, well, you guys can kick rocks. I'll go save the world myself. And then my girlfriend will be impressed. And then they have the scene, right? And they're like, hey, and Deadpool looks over. He's like, I saved the world. And she's like, that's great. I'll hold your hand. We're not going to kiss because that's disgusting, and hetero intimacy can never be shown on screen again in any movie that costs over $50 million or is not a pure romance Hallmark film that only one section of the population will watch. And you're like, what? So Kamala could come out, and the reason why this would work, and the Democrats would hate it, right? But that's okay. She actually needs to win blue votes. She needs to win red votes. She's already got blue votes, right? And so she could be like, I'm saying that closeting is wrong to everyone it's done to. And the LGBTQ were outrageously unfairly closeted for decades, actually probably 2 centuries in America, right? And we've reached a point where there's no more closeting because there doesn't need to be. I'm not saying that. Watch Billy Eichner's show, Difficult People. There's an entire episode where they're like, nobody needs a closet anymore. What is even the point? Why are we even, pretending anybody needs to come out? That nobody, if you just say I'm LGBTQ, it's not like it was in the old days. 1,000 people will be like, that's fantastic. Let's celebrate it with you in a parade. And the LGBTQ community is like, it wasn't like this. Things have definitely changed, right? Like, we have mainstream acceptance, right? So at this point, LGBTQ kiss is allowed in every film over $50 million with a $50 million budget. I think it might be required at this point, right? And then a hetero kiss is never allowed in any film. And any real star, any Oscar winner, any movie over $50 million, you're not allowed to show any hetero intimacy, right? It's not allowed, right? And Kamala could come out and say, I'm against this. I'm calling out Hollywood. I'm telling you, nobody should be closeted. And that should be the line. Nobody should be closeted. Even heteros don't deserve to be closeted, right? And I think it would shock the news, and it would win the news cycle. And that's something that Kamala Harris has no idea to do, right? How do you win the news cycle? Let me bring out Tim Walz, a senator from a state nobody can spell, and a guy who nobody knows his name. Like, it's like a puppet show at this point. You're like, are you pretending this is real? Like, you're telling us that you thought Tim Walz would win a single vote? Like, this is absurd. This has reached the level of parody. Like, it is wild to watch what's happening. But I think this would work, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing and have a fetch millennium.